Rating every Bluey episode, super average, and they lied to us about the xylophone, 5 out of 10. When the bandit torture is actually somewhat humorous, 6 out of 10. The first Bluey classic, high energy, cute, and fun, 7 out of 10. A somewhat mediocre love story about pretend robots, 5 out of 10. Fun and entertaining episode involving a cool game concept, 7 out of 10. I would rate this higher if the animation wasn't the same as the pilot, 5 out of 10. I feel bad for Bingo, but this is a decent episode, 8 out of 10. Love the music, the concept, the vibes, everything about this is awesome, 10 out of 10. The horrific bandit error haunts me in my dreams forever. It's also just boring, 2 out of 10. This one is also pretty average, definitely a lot better episodes out there, 5 out of 10. I used to hate this one, but it grew on me. The message is good and the music fits in well, 7 out of 10. I don't know how to describe the feeling this episode gives me, but it's not a good one, 4 out of 10. I also find this one quite average as well, 5 out of 10. I'm still not blown away about this episode. It honestly annoys me a bit, but it isn't awful, 6 out of 10. Despite Judo's rudeness, it's still a cute episode, 7 out of 10. I don't know why, but this episode just feels calming and wholesome and is pretty underrated, 8 out of 10. I think the story is a bit slow moving and boring, plus I don't like the music, 4 out of 10. Chaotic but in a bad way, plus it has honey, 1 out of 10. Bandit recognizes he would have had an easy life without kids, 5 out of 10. The flossing here is too much, but it gets worse in other episodes, 4 out of 10. I don't think I've watched this episode in over a year, and that's for a good reason, 1 out of 10. This feels like a classic episode that shouldn't be a classic. The music irritates me, 5 out of 10. It was good in the beginning, but fell off towards the end with the dancing and music. It's still enjoyable though, 6 out of 10. I unironically listen to this music on Spotify. It's good and the story is even better. It's really cute and well made, 9 out of 10. This is chaotic but in a good way. It's fun and energetic, 8 out of 10. The beach is perfect, and was also my first episode. Another fun, cute, awesome adventure, 10 out of 10. Pirates is a good episode, not the best, but it's still fun to watch, 7 out of 10. I hate flossing, 0 out of 10. I love animals and nature, 9 out of 10. I know people like this episode, but it just isn't for me, 5 out of 10. This episode gets hated on a bunch, but I really enjoy it. I like Bandit's dancing scene too, 7 out of 10. Fun episode and very unique as well, 7 out of 10. This is another cute and relaxing episode. Also, Bandit walking away at the end is just perfect for fatherless memes, 8 out of 10. Another fun and well-written episode, 8 out of 10. I find this episode a bit boring, but it's still good, 6 out of 10. No, 4 out of 10. Also no, 4 out of 10. This is a big yes. I love this episode. It's emotional and uniquely written and portrays grief amazingly. Good music too, 10 out of 10. Definitely one of the more hilarious episodes, 8 out of 10. This one is also underrated and in my opinion better than the sequel, 7 out of 10. This is the sequel. It's still good though, 6 out of 10. This falls under the radar a little bit and I don't know why. It's good, 7 out of 10. Everyone knows why this is a 10 out of 10. Boring. I don't like it. 3 out of 10. This one is also a bit underrated. 7 out of 10. This feels so sloppy and they didn't bother fixing the lighting on the characters. 2 out of 10. This is slightly average, but it's a nice concept with some funny moments. 6 out of 10. This isn't even banned anymore and it's still forgettable. 4 out of 10. Classic episode that really isn't that amazing for Bluey standards. 6 out of 10. Sean is annoying and boring. 3 out of 10. This isn't annoying, but it is kind of boring, and they reuse music from The Weeknd. 5 out of 10. Probably the best holiday related episode and it's one of the first ones, 8 out of 10. This episode is just constantly playing on TV and it's not even that great, 4 out of 10. Bluey's version of the Home Depot, 7 out of 10. A concept that feels like a recycled asparagus, 4 out of 10. Brotherly and sisterly love through sports and games, 8 out of 10. They should rename this episode as Bandit Torture, 5 out of 10. I like the music and some of the episode is great, but it's not outstanding, 6 out of 10. This is not a difficult rating, 7 out of 10. Actually a cute story about Bingo and Leela, 8 out of 10. This grew on me a bit and is actually a good episode, 7 out of 10. Awesome, cute, wholesome, and interesting, 8 out of 10. I'd rather throw up, 0 out of 10. Repetitive and boring and feels drawn out, 4 out of 10. Very funny and a bit weird, but still good, 7 out of 10. The good kind of school, 7 out of 10. This feels like a very average episode that doesn't do much, 5 out of 10. Oh my god, it's Jack, 10 out of 10. I did not have to see that chili, 6 out of 10. Forgettable and boring, 4 out of 10. The lore, 9 out of 10. Woohoo, more bandit torture, 6 out of 10. Very unique with the drawings, but there's another episode that does it better, 7 out of 10. Grannies but without the flossing, 3 out of 10. The fake British accents are actually funny, 7 out of 10. They cooked with this episode. It's so packed with a lot of different stuff, 10 out of 10. Average episode with lore, 6 out of 10. Do I even need to explain myself? 10 out of 10. Emotionally impacting and cute and fun, 10 out of 10. It's a bit underrated as it's pretty enjoyable, 6 out of 10. A classic episode that actually feels like a classic. The music is annoying, but who cares, 7 out of 10. Muffin being bratty as usual, but it isn't as intense, 6 out of 10. I love everything about this. It just hits different. Great music too, 10 out of 10. Another fun and energetic episode that is very enjoyable, 7 out of 10. Boring plot, boring music, boring everything, 2 out of 10. Welcome to Indonesia, 7 out of 10. Winnie is just straight vibes. It's a great episode and we get to see Bandit make a new friend. 8 out of 10. Cute portrayal of sibling relationships. 7 out of 10. Alfie. 8 out of 10. This is another boring and annoying episode. 2 out of 10. If this was the only Bluey episode in existence, I wouldn't complain. It's great and the sign just makes it better. 10 out of 10. At least it doesn't put me in a bad mood. 5 out of 10. It feels kinda average, but it's actually more enjoyable for some reason. 6 out of 10. Another unique concept of telling a story without actually seeing it. 7 out of 10. This feels forgettable, but Trixie eating all of the chips was actually uncalled for. 5 out of 10. The music is addicting and it's really cute and another one of those calming episodes. Slightly relatable too. 10 out of 10. This grew on me slightly, but it still isn't great. A lot of chaos with minimal plot development. 5 out of 10. Now this is boring. 3 out of 10. This one is definitely hyped up too much. Definitely overrated. 6 out of 10. It really isn't that funny of an episode. It's actually a bit cringe. 3 out of 10. This is a pretty underrated story that should be talked about more. 8 out of 10. This is definitely for the parents, but I'm not a parent, so 6 out of 10. Veranda Santa was better. 6 out of 10. I actually forgot this existed, probably because it's not that good. 5 out of 10. If only it actually was perfect. It's still cool though. 8 out of 10. Actually very sweet and shows how loving the sisters are. 9 out of 10. I like it less and less the more I watch it, to be honest. 7 out of 10. I think there was so much potential here, but they let it to waste. 7 out of 10. Sweet and cute episode with a very hungry, grumpy bandit. 8 out of 10. I still love this episode and I think it's criminally underrated. 9 out of 10. Bluey is actually very annoying here, which is crazy. 6 out of 10. I love Unicorse. The character, the episode is alright. 7 out of 10. Definitely one of the best episodes of Bluey ever made. 10 out of 10. This was formerly the lowest rated episode and I don't know why. It isn't that bad. It's unrealistic for Bluey standards, but it wasn't bad. 5 out of 10. Mildly infuriating, but in a somewhat good way. 7 out of 10. This feels like an average episode that doesn't add much. 5 out of 10. This is unironically hilarious. 7 out of 10. A longer and better episode than most. 9 out of 10. Jack, but it is an army, so it's slightly worse. 7 out of 10. Now this is mediocre. 5 out of 10. I love Bandit attempting to speak French, and the episode is very sweet. 7 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I love Socks. She's just so damn cute. 7 out of 10. I forgot this episode existed, probably because it actually isn't that good. 4 out of 10. Ew! 0 out of 10. Haha, they're drunk. 6 out of 10. Good concept, but like, did it really need to be about farts? 5 out of 10. Chaotic and also in a weird format, but it's still a bit enjoyable. 6 out of 10. I don't like this episode anymore, and I don't know why. It just isn't all that amazing. 5 out of 10. But this is definitely amazing. 10 out of 10. This is actually quite a funny episode. 7 out of 10. I really like the uniqueness of this episode and the story as well. 9 out of 10. Unicorse is better. 6 out of 10. Sweet, wholesome, a bit emotional, and portrays deafness and sign language as well. Very good episode. 10 out of 10. The sign ruined this episode for me personally. 6 out of 10. It's alright, it's a bit longer so that's a plus. 6 out of 10. A better Granny's probably because Muffin is in it and it's actually a somewhat well thought out episode. 6 out of 10. Crazily underrated for no reason at all. 10 out of 10. Yeah, no, this is just not a good episode at all. 3 out of 10. It doesn't feel average, but it's definitely not that great of an episode. 5 out of 10. This was good. I love sports. 7 out of 10. This felt average, but in a better way because it's enjoyable and unique. 7 out of 10. Slightly worse after the edit, but it's still alright. 6 out of 10. Definitely very relaxing and well made. 9 out of 10. I still don't understand the appeal of this episode. It's boring. 4 out of 10. A way better Tina by far. 7 out of 10. A way better Escape. 10 out of 10. This is literally the definition of average. 5 out of 10. Fun and energetic and funny as well. Plus we got the terriers. 7 out of 10. This feels mediocre and isn't a super great concept, but it's still enjoyable. 6 out of 10. This might be my favorite. 10 out of 10. It's alright, but nothing special. 7 out of 10. Yeah, it's an obvious 10 out of 10. We see Bluey's kid and get more lore. Definitely an 8 out of 10.